Greetings everybody. Greetings HcG dieters. This is the 3-week summary of being on the Very Low Calorie Diet. My name is Steve. I've been bringing you an update at the end of each week. I'm actually into my 4th week now, but I'm looking back at the previous week and reporting to you what happened. So let's take a look. I've been showing you this graph in my previous updates. This has both phase 2 and phase 3 on the same graph because you're still on a diet after you stop the very low calorie diet, and according to Simeon, it's as critical as paying close attention to the strict 500 calorie diet during phase 2. So I don't want to fool myself of thinking that when I'm done with very low calorie diet that there isn't some strictness that still must apply for another 3 weeks. I'm going to have to modify this graph because I am actually going to go, originally I was going to go the minimum 23 days, which if you figure the first 2 days of the 23 are load days, going the minimum number of HCG injections of 23 means you actually have 21 days of injections, or 3 weeks, even though you do have to continue the 500 calorie diet for another 3 days. But 3 weeks fit nicely on a graph, but I'm going to go a little bit longer, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. So let's take a look. Let's zero in here on week 3. You can see compared to the other weeks my weight loss is slowing down, and I think I commented last time about a plateau that I hit in week 2, and actually in week 3 here, with these up and down weights in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th days, in other words the middle of the week between the first and last day of the week that's shaded in yellow here, that's almost a, well, if I had a gain of 0.2 pounds on the first day of the week, and then a loss of 2.2, and then really over the next 2 or 3 days there's a bit of a stall in there. I had a 0 loss, and then I had a 0.2 gain, and then I had a 1 pound loss, but the next day I had a 1.4 pound gain. That's water weight. And so that's actually a 4-day stall, and I technically consider that a plateau because during that time my weight didn't really change. It was up and down, but at the end of the 6th day of the week my weight was about the same as it was on the 3rd day of the week. So over those 4 days it pretty much stayed the same. So this time I didn't do an apple day, and in fact I'm learning that by drinking more water and actually taking an uptake in salt, I'm getting better at releasing the water without doing apple days. I didn't really implement that in week 3, but I have since. So if you add up all of week 3's weight loss, that's about a total of 3.0 pounds, and my total now at the end of 3 weeks is either 15 or 18 pounds, depending on whether I count the 3 pounds I gained when I started this on my load days. I choose to look at it based or relative to my weight before the load days, so it's the smaller number. I'm at now 15 pounds of loss. Also, I'm getting very close to my what my goal is. I didn't know what my goal was when I started. I knew I didn't have a lot to lose. During the end of the 1st week, beginning of the 2nd week, I sort of came up with an estimate of having a goal of somewhere between 20 and 30 pounds that I needed to lose. Based on how I'm looking and how much fat I can grab compared to what I used to be able to grab around my waist, either at my side where my, what you call the old spare tire, or right on my stomach, on my gut, right in the front. It's really melting away. It's you know, This diet is truly amazing. I have not lost muscle mass. I have quite a bit of muscle in my legs from trail running, and I have muscle in my chest and shoulders from weight training. Less in my biceps and triceps, but I have some there too. I haven't lost that. And anytime you go on a severe calorie restricted diet and lose weight, you lose it everywhere and you lose muscle. And this Simeon's claim that this focuses on the fat, I'm very confident that he knew what he was talking about, and he had this pretty well worked out. So also, when you look at week 3 and you see that my total loss is slowing down, I think this is probably typical as you get closer to your goal. And I'm going to further refine my goal as of right now based on where I'm at today, that I don't think I need to lose, or I don't think I have much more to lose. It's not a matter of my perception. I think it's going to be a matter of when I run out of abnormally stored fat. And I'm guessing that's going to be closer to 20 pounds than 25 pounds. 25 pounds would be the absolute max. I think at 20 pounds that's probably going to be enough. So if I've lost 15 pounds as of the end of week 3, you can tell that I am getting close to my goal, which is another reason that I'm hitting these plateaus rather regularly, and I'm slowing down to less than a ½ pound loss per week. And I should point out that even though it's only 3 pounds lost for the week, the change visually and in terms of how much fat you can grab with your hand, it's just melting away. And so even though it's a 3 pound weight loss for the week, it's a dramatic change, even from weeks, comparing week 2 to week 3. On days where your weight doesn't change, you're still losing fat, and I can certainly attest to that. Real quickly, this is getting to be too long. I'm going to say real quick, I got the tip of the week. Last time I showed you a drink that you can drink to help you when you feel like you're really hungry and feeling weak. That was a lemon strawberry drink. Thanks for all the nice emails I've gotten on that. And by the way, it's the pectin in the lemon that makes that, after it sits for a couple hours in the refrigerator, it gets this nice, smooth, not real thick, but slightly thick consistency, and not chunky and disgusting like you might think, oh, that doesn't sound good. But a little bit of thickness from the pectin in the lemon. When you take off the zest, just the yellow, and leave all that white, when you blend that up in the Vitamix, it gets a little bit thick, which is very satisfying when you're hungry. Another trick for when you're really hungry is this stuff. You can get it at Costco, or at least you used to be able to. I bought this years ago. Knorr chicken bouillon. This is the best brand I've ever found, and it's nice because it's powdered. You can measure it out. Serving size is 2 teaspoons. I use 1 teaspoon in a glass like this, filled up, and that has 1 teaspoon has 5 calories. Has a speck of fat, but in 5 calories, that whole 5 calories is not from the fat, so it's very little fat. It doesn't seem to mess up anything on the Simeon protocol, and that's very satisfying. And it's loaded with salt, which actually I'm finding, if I'm drinking the right amount of water, which I would suggest to everybody is 1/2 of your weight in ounces. And you can go to watercure.com. Dr. Batmangela, who's now passed away, has a free website out there that has really good free information. But he also suggests taking a 1/2 teaspoon of salt for every quart of water that you drink, for every 32 ounces. And I'm finding that I'm getting through my plateaus by, instead of drinking less water, it's kind of counterintuitive. When you know you're holding water weight, there's a tendency to drink less water so your weight will go down. But if you actually drink more with the right amount of salt, you just start letting go of it. And that's because, as Dr. Batmangela explains, inside your body, the water that's inside the cells is what you get from the water that you drink during the day. The amount of salt that you take is what gets that water from inside the cells to outside the cells to keep those in balance. And I have under my favorites on my home channel page, I have a 6-part interview with Bette Mangella and a news broadcaster and a typical doctor from the representing the AMA, debating his whole theory. And I've been following Dr. Bette Mangella for probably 6 or 7 years now, and I think if you can lose weight just following him. But anyway, drink plenty of water. Here's a tip for you when you get hungry and need a little salt. That's a really fun way to get it. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.